let me talk. Hello! It's a day full of errands today, and since I'm going outside, I want to look cute. So we're doing my makeup while I tell you what has been brought to my desk today. By that I mean I'm gonna tell you things that have caught my attention in the spirit of It's Related, I Promise, because I love that podcast. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you a few things that I have been on my mind, that I have seen mostly on social media, because I am a doom scroller. My TikTok hours are crazy, unfortunately, and I never have anyone to talk to about these things, so I'm just gonna talk to you about them, and you're gonna listen, and you're going to tell me what you think, because I intend for this to be a conversation, even though I am technically the only one talking. But you can talk back to me on the comments, or I don't know, text me. Let's just start, I guess. I'm gonna be following a sort of palette when it comes to my makeup. Don't mind the scarf, I just know I'll get makeup everywhere otherwise if I don't protect myself, and I've already dressed. So let's not mind the scarf. I'm going to be following a sort of palette today, and yeah, let's just see if I can do that. I'll put a picture of what I'm trying to follow here. It looks like we're gonna stack up everything and then blend, basically. So I'm gonna start placing my makeup where I need it to be. Start with contour, although I do think I'm going to need a darker shade of contour, so I might get that today, because this is almost as light as my skin tone. Even my skin tone can be a bit darker than this, I think, but okay. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while, but that's because July was a bit moody for me. I didn't really feel like doing much, to be honest with you. And YouTube for me is just a hobby, like all my other hobbies. I have several.
I dabble in pottery, karate. Wow. I collect small shovels.
And I try to keep up with most of them, even though sometimes I start something and then I forgot I was doing it, so I just stopped doing it. I want to be consistent with this because it is fun making videos, I won't lie to you. And it's made me also like, you know, doing my makeup and stuff like that. So I enjoy this, I do. Anyway, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the concept of having fast children, and I put that in quotations because the only way, in my opinion, a child should be described as fast is literally like their speed, their literal body speed, if they're running or something. That's the only way a child should ever be called fast. But obviously this is not what I'm talking about. That's why it got my attention, because I came to understand, I didn't even know this was a way to describe children. But a lady on TikTok was talking about how we shouldn't forget that there are fast children. This is in response to another lady who said that she used to be described as fast, but that was because she got abused by one of her family members, if I remember correctly. And it reminded me of something else I came across when I was younger a few years ago, and it was people basically describing how them getting abused younger made them almost hypersexual in a way. There's no such thing as a fast child. There is no such thing as a fast child. You only want to call her fast because you want to take away from the abuser. The person that we should focus on is the person who put her in this, or put them, because it could be a guy also, who put them in this predicament in the first place. The person who pushed them to this path, because they were pushed. Nobody comes out the womb wanting to act that way, I believe, honestly. And also, I noticed in that same breath, I noticed this is only used to describe girls. Like, little girls are the only ones who are normally called fast. It's always girls. It's always girls. And obviously, I'm woke. So of course I noticed that.
Sorry, I'm woke now. I'm woke.
And that doesn't sit right with me. Because why are little girls being described in this way as seductors of some sort? As if they just woke up one day and decided they wanted to steal a grown man or lead them astray in a way, or even like they have that power. They don't. These are literally children, guys. Have we forgotten that? These are literally children, babies that we're calling fast. That is crazy to me. Very crazy to me. I want to use this lipstick by NYX as a blush because I like how red some people do, like red blush. But I'm only gonna try a little bit because I don't want to do too much, because I'm also just scared to be honest with you. That is one thing. I don't like people describing children as fast because it makes no sense to me. Children cannot be fast. They're that way because someone made them that way. And this is one of the reasons I feel, to be honest with you, I do feel like society again is doing this thing where we try to take the blame away from a man. I don't know why we're trying to protect men, because most of the time they're always in the wrong. And if you look at society, we're always told the most vulnerable people in a society are children, women, and old people. But every time a man does something to these people, we're always so fast to defend the man and put the blame and turn the blame on this other people who are literally vulnerable, the most vulnerable people in the society. So if a woman is seduced by a man who they didn't even know probably was married, suddenly she's the homewrecker. If a child gets abused by a man, she's fast. If an old person gets abused by a man, suddenly we just feel sorry, but we keep it to ourselves because they're old anyway. They'll die soon. We don't say these things out loud most of the time. We think them, and that's a problem in itself, because how we think is reflected back on us with how we live. And that is why right now we still have the people who were in the wrong, in the Epstein file, still walking around like everything's fine, everything's normal. Because deep down we know if we could blame the children, we would. We definitely would. But that's not fine anymore, so we just ignore it, try to forget about it like it's going to go away. It's not. That's why they keep doing this. Anyway, I'm getting heated, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. Okay, so this is my placement, so I'll start blending with the contour. The next thing that has been brought to my desk this week was a tweet that I made that went viral accidentally, and I'll just put it here. I was thinking of that as I was going to bed. Don't ask me why. Sometimes thoughts just hit me like that. And I just tweeted it because, I don't know, I was just talking to the ether like I always do on that app. And I woke up and it had got quite a number of views and likes, and I was like, oh, okay. But also, I do feel like if the kind of hair I have there was on my eyebrows, for example, because I barely have any eyebrows, I don't know, I don't think it would work, but it's how the quality of the hair follicle in itself, they're always so strong, they're always so shiny, they're so black. Like, that could have been used somewhere else. I have good hair, don't get me wrong, and I don't complain about my hair, but it's just, damn, I feel like, why are you there? So that I can just remove you again at some point, you know, because I do get waxed, so they kind of go to waste like that. But yeah, I don't know, a lot of people agreed with me. Obviously there were creepy people being like, can I see? Which is, what? What do you think this is, bro? Like, are you being serious? Oh, I forgot to put concealer over there. Right there. I think doing this is a bit hard because you try not to touch the other products, and that's really hard, but it can be done. I will do it. Obviously at some point they will blend together, and I think that will be easier, but for now it's kind of hard. Does everyone just have really nice pubic hair? And I came to find out that yes, most people do. The next thing that was brought to my desk is I will always add something to cart. If I see something and I like it, I will add it to cart. I'm so fast at doing that. It's almost like a reflex now. I will add to cart. That is so fast for me. So fast for me. Checking out though, that's a whole other story. It might happen, it might not happen. I might need 5 to 7 business days to think about it, contemplate it, see if the fans are right, see if I actually need it. But I will add to cart, and it will stay in cart. Trust. The messiest cart that I have is on Shein. It has so much, because sometimes I forget there's a wish list option there. It just has so much, and then they're always selling out fast. But it's also like, to be honest with you, I've kind of become a little bit pretentious when it comes to Shein, because they're a bit shady, I'm not going to lie. They have a few things going on that I don't like, but you can't take away from the convenience of Shein. You can't take away, especially because nowadays they do sell from a lot of like stores that you can just walk to. Even here, oh my god, that is so pigmented. I'm scared. I am so scared. I won't lie to you. I am so fucking scared. Oh, I'm scared. You can't even see the red that I wanted to. Oh, this is scary hours. Anyway, yeah, Shein is a bit, but you can't take away from its convenience. But my point is, adding to cart for me is a reflex, and it's so fast. It happens so fast. But actually checking out, it might never happen, to be honest with you. I probably have visited a couple of websites where I saw something, then I went to the website, then I saw it, then I added it to cart, and then I just forgot about it, and I didn't even make an account. So yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one. Please tell me if you guys do the same, because I feel like that's a very common thing to happen. I remember last year my friend was helping me look for a dress for an important occasion, and she just kept telling me, just add it to cart, just add it to cart. And I was like, yeah, but you can always add it to the wish list. But I didn't need to cut. It's just so much easier, to be honest. I don't know how, because the wish list is also not that far. It's usually I had like close by or something, so it's not that difficult. But adding to cart is just so much easier, I won't lie to you. So yeah, I get that. I do get it. Doing makeup like this is so messy, I won't lie to you. It's so messy. I don't even know if my concealer is dried enough, but let me do this. Another thing that was brought forward to my desk, I like saying that, I don't know why, it makes me sound so serious, like I take doom scrolling on TikTok and Twitter so seriously. I do, actually. So yeah, that's why we're saying that. Anyway, another thing that was brought to my attention, or to my desk this week, is that a lot of people don't know that right now AI and machine learning in general has been happening for years. It has been happening for so many years. And the best way for machine learning to happen is by repeatedly seeing or being fed information, the same kind of information, until it finally gets it, or in so many different ways, so that it can be able to recognize it wherever and whatever or whenever. The main thing about machine learning and AI is figuring out patterns. And I'm saying this because I actually studied for this. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm smart. Anyway, so what people don't realize is that the things that have been trending on TikTok, on Instagram, they're all being fed to some kind of machine learning. They are all being fed to AI to make it realize that this is how things go, this is how things happen. And the best way for people, obviously because it's very expensive to pay people to do these things directly, like make it their job to teach AI these things, because one, it's coming from the same person, so the pattern recognition will not be broad enough, and two, also better for them to just get it from a mass or a wider pool than from a narrow one, which they're just paying. And most people are stingy, especially people who build AI and machine learning. They're so stingy, they don't want to spend too much. So obviously they're not gonna pay people to do all these things for them. So what do? They go on TikTok and get trends going, and they use these trends to teach AI these things. And I'm not saying this as a conspiracy theory. This actually happens. This is what they do. I don't know if a lot of people know, but you should by now. ChatGPT has been trained by Kenyans mostly. People who do academic writing as a side gig are the people who were training in ChatGPT before it came out. And that's why a lot of Kenyans right now in school are having a hard time, because every time they do an assignment and the lecturers pass it through an AI check, it will fail because the language is the same. But that's because these are the people they learned from, you know? So that was a thing a few years ago. But I say this to say that the trends on TikTok are being used to train AI, and a lot of people don't know that. And I saw a video of a guy explaining it, and the person who was recording them couldn't believe it. But it is that believable if you just thought about it. Like that trend, he was talking about the trend where I think I'll attach the video so you can see.
What did you say?
The viral say something a bunch of different ways emotionally, or say something as different famous people. You know that TikTok, Instagram trend?
Yes.
I used to get auditions from my agent for AI companies where they're like, for $100,000, come in and say these things, right? And I was like, no, of course not, because 100,000 would be a lot of money, but I'm getting a job away from myself in the future. I think these AI companies came in and they were like, no one will audition for this money. Can you just make viral trends and then we'll grab the data? I think it's all AI, all of it.
him talking about the trend where they say things with different emotions, the same sentence in different emotions, is being used to train AI. It is. So you have ChatGPT doing the ums and the uhs, and you're like, this is a machine. Why does it do that? But that's because it's learning to act human as possible. That's the goal of AI. It's not to better things, it's to replace our minds, essentially. So we're being led to be almost like cattle in a way, just to be a labor force in a way, which is ironic because we wanted AI to do the hard stuff, but here we are. Anyway, I hope I don't live long enough to see a world where that is the reality of things, where human beings have been replaced so much. There's misinformation everywhere because AI is now the truth. I don't want to live in that world. I want to remember things as they were. I am African. I'm trying to recover from what the Europeans did because they lied so much about our ancestors that right now it's just, and I'm trying to figure out what they lied about still. So you can imagine if that was happening, that result we're still living in today is from what Europeans did, our fellow human beings did. You can imagine what a machine will do, the amount of damage it will do, and for how many years it will run for. Anyway, I digress. Let me start blending my concealer. Another thing that has been brought to my desk this week is on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, on the 29th of July 2026, I feel like a worldwide burnout was felt of sorts. A lot of people were having a bad day. I don't know why. I woke up that day and I just didn't feel like experiencing this day. I just didn't feel like, you know when you wake up and you're like, oh my god, hit the skip button, today is not it. I felt that way. And of course I've had this feeling before. I feel like everyone has. But then I went to work and everyone else was complaining of the same thing, including my manager, who never complains, like ever. And I was like, what the hell? It's so weird. And by everyone, I mean everyone who was at the office, because on Wednesday we don't normally have everyone working, because a lot of people have children and that's when they have their parent day off. But yeah, everyone was just who was at the office was just complaining about it. I was like, oh. And then I called my parents later that day, and the first thing my mom tells me is, today has been such a weird day, I just feel tired. And I'm like, oh, you too. How strange. It's happening on the other side of the ocean as well. So that was a bit of a weird thing going on. And I'm not into astrology, but I do know Mercury was in retrograde at some point, but I thought it came out of it a few weeks ago. Obviously I don't know, I just said I don't know. But yeah, I want to know, did you guys feel a burnout on Wednesday this past week, or at any point at all in this week? Because it could have happened later, it could have happened sooner for you. I just want to know if you guys experienced it too, because it's kind of a weird phenomenon where the whole world experiences a burnout at the same time, don't you think? I'm actually very scared for this makeup, I won't lie to you. I thought it was gonna be easy, but with how it's going, I do not know. I think I put the layers of concealer to be really thick. I'm gonna try something different. The girls were saying at some point to use powder puffs to blend your concealer and your blush. So that's what I'm gonna do for this very light concealer and very bright blush. Oh, it's difficult holding this thing. I'm gonna use the contour brush to blend this part out. I'm gonna take my blush brush and try and blend out the concealer part. So much product though. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and dab away some of the excess. Another thing that was brought to my attention this week is, why did women stop wearing skinny jeans? I get why men stopped or should stop wearing skinny jeans, but bring back skinny jeans for women. I want a pair of black skinny jeans, personally, and it's been so difficult trying to find them because nobody sells skinny jeans anymore. Everybody is selling baggy pants and flared pants, and where are the skinny jeans though? I need skinny jeans because they can be such a vibe, guys. They can be such a vibe, especially if you're tall and a bit skinny. I'm not, I'm just tall. But I really think skinny jeans looked so good. And I started thinking about this because there is a shoe that I really want. It was in my last vlog when I went to Amsterdam. You'll see it. And I was thinking this would be so dope with skinny jeans. But I don't have skinny jeans. And I can't find anywhere that's selling them. Where are the skinny jeans? Guys, oh my god, I had a really good pair. But then I had my second puberty and I can't fit them anymore.
Big back, big back, big back, big back. Yeah, my back is loaded up with snacks and different foods. Squeeze into this tiny shirt, my big back has no room. Big back, big back, big back, big back.
I can't fit them anymore. Guys, bring back skinny jeans, please. Please, bring back skinny jeans for women. Men, we don't want to see all that, please. We really don't. Unless you're wisdom, I don't want to see it. I'm sorry. But yeah, bring skinny jeans for women back. Expeditiously. Please. Something else. Oh my god, I have so many points. But I feel like I say, this is the thing. I have a notebook where I wrote them because I didn't want to forget any of these things. And I feel like these are things that will run in my mind unless I speak them out. So I'm here speaking about them because I need an outlet. Duh. And I can't journal everything. It gets boring and it cramps my hands if I journal too much anyway. Anyway, another thing that caught my attention or was brought on my desk this past week is I have noticed a trend going on with restaurants or food content or food content where eateries or places or restaurants or places where you can eat are presenting food very messy. And I don't know where or when as a collective we decided that messy presentation is good, because I'll post the exact video that triggered me here.
We're trying the most viral hot chocolate in London. They pour 3 different types of chocolate outside with their homemade Belgian chocolate blends. They also have their famous chocolate cake hit with all 3 chocolates on top. Who created this? I don't even think Willy Wonka could have come up with this combination.
Now, if I ordered a hot chocolate and you put the chocolate everywhere except in the cup, you put everywhere and in the cup and outside of the cup and on the plate, I don't think I could enjoy that. I'll just be overwhelmed. And this might be the video that broke the camel's back. Me. I'm the camel. This might be the video that did that. But if you think about it, you will see it. A lot of places are just putting messes, like sauces everywhere, just a mess. And this, unfortunately, has been the case mostly in the US, but this is from a British cafe. What the hell? And they do this mostly in touristy places where they're trying to, obviously every restaurant is trying to outdo the doer. It's competition, trying to be the best and have a trending thing where it attracts people to go to or give them a reason to go there. But guys, we're overdoing it. Calm down, calm down. I just want a nice meal, a nice looking meal. If something my mom has always said is you eat with your eyes first. So if my eyes look at that and it's already full, my stomach is not gonna participate for much longer. Trust me. As much as I wanted that thing, if you present it to me in a way that makes me feel overwhelmed, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's not gonna be a good experience. It's not. Because immediately I'll be like, that was too much. Because there is a too much, especially when it comes to food. You're training our minds to be gluttonous, but this is not something we can keep up for a long time. It's not doable like that, to be honest with you. And we know this. I don't know why people act like we don't know this. We know this. But anyway, also in that point, a few years ago, the most trending videos on the internet were mukbangs, where people just order a bunch of food and they just eat. They just eat. This was even before ASMR was a thing. So people just eating, just videos of them eating. And we went from that to skinny maxing. By skinny maxing, I mean people just eating tiny stuff in a way that perpetuates eating disorders. Sorry to say, but it's the truth. So the trend in food is very weird to me, and I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it because sometimes it goes over our heads. But please remember that everything is related, because it is. And us going from a trend where food was presented in a way that it's abundant and available to a lot of people, to a place where eating very little is now seen as the it thing, or eating messily is seen as the it thing. That speaks to a bigger issue. I don't know what the issue is now because I'm not a prophet, but I feel like it has something to do with the food availability and the resources that are on our planet as of now, and who is controlling what we get. But I'm not a conspiracy theorist, like I said. I just notice patterns, and I think about a lot of things because I am a thought daughter, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And I am also a very woke person, unfortunately. Unfortunately for a lot of people, not for me though, because that means I'm in tune and I like that. But when did we get so messy with our presentation for food? You know, like, when did that become a thing? I don't like it. I really don't. Please give me a plate with a clean rim so I can see my food and I can enjoy it, and I can know where I can start from and where I'm going to and how I can bring them together. Don't just mess things up for me, please. The experience of enjoying food is very important. It is. It's one of the big things about being a human being. That's why we don't go out and eat the grass, because it's just there. Just saying. I talked for so long, I forgot I was here because I have places to go, I have things to do. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the powders now. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about that has been brought to my table that I find very interesting, and I know most of you are gonna laugh at this, but I'm being dead ass. I think fictional writers are a little bit schizo. Let me talk. I think they are functional schizo. I feel like how they see things is not how normal people see things. For example, the guy who wrote Game of Thrones, it's absolutely insane to me that he just casually thought of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can't be living in the same world we live in and then have come up with that. There has to be something else. He's in another world, very clear, very much clear to anyone who has eyes to see. He lives in another world. He doesn't live among us. I don't think he does, at least. That world is deep and it's complicated and it's very complex to come up with on a sane brain. And this is not to say obviously it's bad or they need to see someone or get some education or whatever. It's just, to me, that is the only way to explain how they see things or what they experience, you know? Like I said, it's not necessarily bad. It's just interesting to me how this has never been a theory before. Because they're great, don't get me wrong. They're very great. They're very much great. And I don't just mean Game of Thrones. I'm not coming for George R.R. Martin, or is it George Martin? I'm not sure what his name is, but I'm not coming for him. I'm also talking about the other guy who wrote even like Lord of the Rings. Like, that's complex, you know, to be thinking about all these characters and they all have very complex, you know, attributes to them, and this whole world. It's mostly about the world that they live in. Like, they just think of that. You're special, aren't you? I don't know. It's just, to me, that's the only way it makes sense. Obviously, this might get me cancelled sometime along the way. But it's fine. It's just my opinion. I don't mean it to be insulting to anyone. It's just the same way we have functional alcoholics, unfortunately. I feel it's the same way these people are functional schizos. I'm saying schizo like it's a slur. Let me not say that. I feel like they do have a mental thing going on. That is it. But that's just an opinion that I have. I don't think a lot of people will agree to it because it's really out there. But think about it. Okay, this is the final look. I'm running very late. I need to go. But I think it's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. It's okay. So yeah, tell me what you think about the things that I talked about, because I want to hear your opinions on some of these things, on all of these things. And if you agree with me, let me know. If you don't, also let me know, because I would like to be discussing with you guys. So please let me know. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.